Good morning, everyone. Now, this video specifically is directed to all the men. And I love you, men. I work with you, I cherish you, and I worship you. But this is something that's extremely important and personal for me to share. And it is my call to every single man on this planet to really stop and listen to this because this is so, so important. A woman's sexuality is so much different than yours. And frankly, it's something you cannot understand because our physiology is different. When we make love to you, we invite you inside of our body. When you make love, you push the energy out. It's very different to take part of you and put it somewhere versus being the one who receives that. And this is the most vulnerable thing I can do, that any woman can do. The closest you as a man that you can get to understanding what it's like for a woman to receive a man, to make love, is if you have an anal massage. Now, if you have had one, then you have probably felt shame, embarrassment, you cried. That is when you get to understand how vulnerable it is for a woman to receive a man into her body. And unless you had that experience, you actually really cannot understand it. But what I'm asking you for is to at least try. At least to acknowledge that the way a woman experiences lovemaking is very different than yours. Think of something the most embarrassing and sensitive you could ever do in your life. And this is a bit of a state that a woman is in. Now, this is not to say a woman doesn't enjoy sex or she doesn't want to be in this place. But this is to understand that when we make love, we receive you inside of us. On a physical level, you go all the way up to our cervix, which is the deepest place in my body that anyone outside can actually reach to. On a physical level, you go about 20 centimeters into my body. Think about, have you ever put anything that big inside of you, and how would that feel? And on the energy body, you don't just penetrate my yoni, you don't just go to the cervix, you go all the way to my heart. That's how deep you enter my body because I'm receiving you. The same with oral sex. Once again, a woman receives you in her throat. Now, for many women, actually, this chakra, the throat chakra, is very sensitive and it's quite problematic. So once again, if you push yourself in any way, you're closing the center. That makes it even more difficult for her in the future to speak for herself. I had personally many times sore throat after oral sex because I was pushed to do it and I didn't really feel comfortable saying no. So it's like you're pushing all of your energy through a woman. Can you please just try to understand that this is an extremely sensitive and vulnerable state? Now, over generations, as women, we have not been given permission to actually just close our eyes and tune into the body and know where we are and know if we want to make love or not. And so now we try to do it. And the whole Me Too movement also showed how difficult it is for us. How many cases there are where it seems for a man that sex is consensual, and then you find out that actually a woman feels raped because she didn't want it, but she wasn't empowered to say that. Because we have been disempowered generation after generation not to say it. So now, as a woman, if I'm with you, and if I tell you that, today I'm not available for sex or not for the penetrative sex, or let's say, I would like to keep our underwear on and just like enjoy ourselves with touch and with kisses. Please do not take it as a personal rejection. Please do not feel emasculated because it's not about you. It's about me being in a very vulnerable and sensitive space. I have seen and I have heard and I've worked with so many men where this is such a big issue. Because when a woman says no to penetrative sex, a man's ego shuts down right away. Because on the other hand, just like women are not empowered to talk about, oh, I need more time, a man is conditioned to feel that his manhood, his masculinity, his confidence is sourced in his sexuality. So if he cannot have penetrative sex with a woman, then a man feels like, then what am I giving her? Like, I am not a great lover. I'm not showing up for her if I cannot have sex with her. And that's really not how women look at it. You have to understand that, we're almost never practically never ready just to have sex. There can be a moment when the earth, your fire energy goes really high and when there's other things happening, but in 99% we're not ready to have sex right away. We're not even ready to have sex just because we engage for half an hour in foreplay. We actually need a day, hours before that to keep juicy, to keep opening our body, to be there. So when you're with a woman and when she's not ready, please give her space. When she asks you, could we please slow down today? Could we please not go all the way today? Remember, she's not rejecting you unless, she's leaving the house saying, okay, I don't want to be with you tonight. And she goes, okay, yeah, that's a rejection. But if she's still with you and just asking for something different, please honor and respect that. Okay? She's not being a cold bitch. She's not being manipulative. She's not playing you. She's asking for you to help her open up to be in this extremely vulnerable state with you. So please, please, to all the men, please don't take it personally. Don't get offended, because when you do, what you're saying is exactly what she's afraid of. Is that if she honors the needs of her body, then you will leave her, then you will not love her. And as women, we really have to go back to this space. So please, 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 every single man watching this video, encourage your woman before you make love to tune into her body and know exactly where her body is. Know exactly what her body wants to engage in and what it does not want to engage in. And meet her with freaking joy and excitement wherever she is. And eventually she will open up more. But please, in this moment, if she says no, stay with her and love her and engage with her in the way that feels good for her, without crossing any lines and without pushing her to do more just because your man's ego got hurt by hearing a no. So to all the men who will take this message and who will spread it, I bow to you and I really, really thank you.